like you.
Let's start as friends.
I love...
Accept this.
No. Thank you kindly, but no.
Wet Steps is an urban fantasy visual novel with a sprinkling of Slavic mythology. The game offers an interactive narrative with multiple endings and vibrant artwork, though it's not without its flaws. As you tread through this mysterious world, you'll find a mixed bag of elements that contribute to the overall experience. Big thanks to Valkyrie Initiative for the review copy. I'm Dan, and let's get into this. So, the game summary reads something like this. The main character of this story isn't just an ordinary high school student. Nature has endowed him with physical strength and charm and good looks, thus he often faces all kinds of maidens aiming for his heart. One fine day he notices a charming young girl, Iris, dressed weirdly, who follows him mumbling some sort of magical words. But what if these words aren't love spells, and the concern of being stalked comes from where he least expects it? Now, one of the first things that strikes you when playing Wet Steps is the voice acting. Unfortunately for me, it's not one of the game's strong points. The main protagonist's voice comes across as annoying and ill-fitting for a school kid. The delivery of their lines and tone make listening to them a rather jarring experience. This can be a significant hindrance to immersion, as it's hard to connect with the character when you cringe at their voice. It's clear that more care could have been taken in casting and directing the voice acting to be a better match to the characters and story. In terms of gameplay, Wet Steps offers very little decision making for players. The choices presented throughout the game are few and far between, leaving players with a sense of limited agency in shaping the story. While some visual novels excel in their ability to let players make meaningful choices, Wet Steps falls short in this department. The lack of meaningful decisions can leave players feeling like passive observers rather than active participants for most parts of the story. One area where Wet Steps shines is its art style and character designs. The visuals are well done with vibrant and colourful CG illustrations that bring the world and characters to life. The art in the game is a definite highlight, and it's clear that a lot of effort was put into making the game visually appealing. Unfortunately, Wet Steps suffers from some technical issues related to the English text and dialogue. Some of the English text has been added incorrectly, leading to awkward sentences and phrases that don't always make sense. These issues can be distracting and take away from the overall experience. Additionally, there are problems with sentence structure and grammar that can disrupt the flow of the narrative. The story in Wet Steps isn't a bad one, but I'm not sure if I wasn't reviewing this title I would have had the patience to stick it out. While it incorporates elements of Slavic mythology, it failed to deliver a compelling narrative. The main character's lack of likability makes it difficult to connect or care about his journey. The story lacks depth and fails to provide players with a strong incentive to invest their time in it. Furthermore, there's a noticeable absence of activities or challenges that could have really made the gameplay more engaging. As a result, players may struggle to stay invested for an extended period. Saying that, one redeeming feature of Wet Steps is the presence of multiple endings. This adds a layer of replayability to the game, as players are encouraged to explore different paths and choices to discover the various outcomes. The desire to uncover these different endings can serve as a strong motivator to continue playing, even when other aspects of the game fall short. In conclusion, Wet Steps for me is a mixed bag of elements. While it excels in its art style and offers the promise of multiple endings, it falls short in terms of voice acting, decision making and storytelling. The technical issues with English text further dampen the experience. If you're a fan of visual novels and can overlook these shortcomings, Wet Steps might provide some brief enjoyment, as it's not a long game and you can explore most of its endings in under an hour. However, for those seeking a more polished and engaging experience, this game may leave you feeling unsatisfied. Wet Steps is out now on the Nintendo eShop, priced at $4.59 in the UK and $4.99 in the US. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Some liquid was oozing out. Ah, that's where you found a water surface. I gave the door a yank. She was sitting there, in the toilet. Her hair were dripping water. From underneath the hair, a heavy breathing was heard. She either saw me or somehow noticed my presence. And then she seemed delighted even. She held out her hands towards me. hesitatingly reached her hand with mine and touched it. Her hand was wet and cold. Wait, it can't be. She can't touch me. She shouldn't be able to touch me. Was I mistaken? But her cold fingers gripped my wrists and crawled up my arms. The Lotnitsa made a happy bleating sound. I wasn't even scared. I became sad. She looked like a child who was lonely and just wanted a bit of human warmth. With care, I clasped my arms around hers, and she sighed deeply. Then she disappeared, leaving mud traces on my skin.